Edge Designations, Revision and Exam Program for the CFA Level 2 program for the 2023 exam cycle. In this video, I'd like to take you through what you can expect in the CFA Level 2 exam, as well as what we at Edge Designations as a CFA prep provider can do to help you get through your 2023 CFA Level 2 exams. First and foremost, let me just introduce myself. My name is Russell Jude, and I head up the CFA Level 2 program at Edge. First and foremost, let's get going. We're going to break this video down into two components. First component is I want to look at what you can expect in the actual CFA exam. We're going to take you through that. And number two is a little bit of a look at what we at Edge, the various programs that we've got available to try and assist you to get through the CFA Level 2 exam. First and foremost, let's get started straight away. Let's have a look at what your exam will look like. As per every CFA level exam, you start off and we've got what we call the pledge, a little bit of a tutorial, a little bit of a survey, and that's at the start of your exam. Okay, but that's just to get you through the initial process. When we get going over here, there are two exam sessions, exam session number 1 and exam session number 2. Each exam session is carbon copy. It's 135 minutes, 2 hours 15, okay? And there are 11 multiple choice questions in each section, okay? Now, we know from CFA Level 1 how to answer multiple choice questions, okay? Just like in CFA Level 1, CFA Level 2 is the same. There's A, B's, and C's, A, B's, and C's. 3 options. Okay. But CFA Level 2 changes just a little bit from what you experienced in CFA Level 1, in that in CFA Level 1, if you guys remember, hopefully it's not too distant a memory, you had 90 multiple choice questions, one followed by the other, etc. And each question was a separate question. When you come now to CFA Level 2, it works slightly different. They work in terms of case studies, or what they like to call a vignette. Okay, and what a vignette is it's a little bit of a case study or a story, and altogether, guys, you are going to have 11 stories, 11 case studies or vignettes per exam session altogether. At the end of your story, let's call it a vignette. It's a very nice word. Just got to make sure I get the spelling there right. Okay, so you've got your case study, your vignette. It relates to one of the 10 topics. If I just take you over the page, and we'll get to this page soon. Okay, but we know the 10 topics. Okay, ethics, quants, economics, financial statement analysis, corporate finance. I still call it corporate finance, but of course we know it's called corporate issue as it has had a name change. Equity, alternatives, fixed income, derivatives, and Port Man. And if you take all of those together, we know we get 10 different exam topics. Okay, when we have a look at those, you're going to get a vignette, which is a story. Your story then is followed on, okay? Your vignette, first and foremost, will relate to one of those 10 topics. Okay, and I'm just going to take you down here. What they'll do is, before you start your vignette, they're going to say to you, the topic that you are dealing with is, for example, ethical and professional standards, and the total point value is 12 points. And the obvious question is, how do we get to those 12 points? And the way that they get to those 12 points is as follows. They say as follows. Okay, there is your vignette, your story. Your story then is followed on by 4 multiple choice questions, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Of course, guys, we know each one has got an A, B, or C option to it. We know this by now. This is exactly the same thing as we've seen in CFA Level 1. You got your vignette, you got your 4 multiple choice questions. Each multiple choice question, interestingly enough, is worth 3 marks. And that is how they get to 12 points stroke 12 marks per vignette. Okay, per vignette, and in terms of each exam session, there are going to be 11 vignettes all together. A total of 11 vignettes. That'll give you 44 multiple choice questions times by 3 marks, or whether I like to call them 3 points per, and that's a total of 132 points per exam. Obviously you times that by 2 because you've got the 2 different exams, and your total pass mark is out of 264. How much you need to get out of 264? Well, that seems to keep rising as the days go on. No one really knows, but hey, it does tend to seem to rise a little bit. But the general consensus is approximately within the 70% range is where you need to be. Okay, we have a look over here, guys. Okay, and what does that tell you? And I'm being a little bit anal over here. If we're going all the way down into as deep as we can into the calculations and into the workings over here, that'll translate into 180 seconds, okay, or 3 minutes per multiple choice question. Remember, of course, guys, there are 4 multiple choice questions per vignette. That'll then translate, okay, for you into 12 minutes, 12 minutes per vignette. Okay, so is that timing quick? Well, relatively quick. Okay, 12 minutes per vignette times 11 vignettes, and of course, guys, that'll give you as close as possible to your 135 minutes approximately. Not exactly, I know, but close enough. Okay, and based on that, guys, okay, we can see that not an extreme time pressure, but yes, you've got to move through these questions quite quickly. And of course, the trick is not to leave any of them out and to move through them as quickly as possible, not to extend your time on any vignette, because if you extend your time on one vignette, you can see under the time pressure that you're under, you are going to be taking time away from another vignette. You don't want to do that. So try and restrict yourself as much as you can, okay, to answering the questions in as short a time, well, at least in the allocated time, as efficiently as possible. But please be mindful of not going over the time, but obviously that'll cost you more at a later point in time. Once you've done exam session 1, okay, you have a bit of an optional break, okay, and you come back for a carbon copy of exam session 2, which looks exactly like exam session 1. Okay, unlike CFA level 1, which topics can they ask you in CFA level 2? All topics in each exam. So you can in fact come out of exam session 1 and have been examined on all of the topics, all 10 topics, because there's 11 vignettes. And you could get the same thing again, guys, in exam session 2. There is no specific topics of the 10 topics that they're going to ask you specifically in each exam. They are all examinable, okay, and can come up equally in all of the exams. Okay, so hopefully that gives you a little bit of a sense of what your exam will look like. Of course, we all know by now, I maybe should have mentioned it up front, but we know it by now, of course, guys. It's all computer-based testing, so you will be on a computer, okay, and obviously you'll just, they do give you a little bit of a way to look at it beforehand, okay. You can have a bit of a practice run before your exam, and you could just do that just to make sure you're able to use the computer, okay. Very efficient software. It does tend to work quite well, and remember, of course, it's just an A, B, or C, so you'll click the one that you want, move on, and hopefully be able to answer all the questions in the allocated time. We move on a little bit over here just to tell you a little bit. I'm sure you guys have seen this before. A brief look at the exam weightings that are out there. And what you notice is we've got 5 and 5. What do I mean 5 and 5? 5 of your topics carry smaller weightings. So quants is 5 to 10. Economics is 5 to 10. Corporate issues is 5 to 10. Alts is 5 to 10, and derivatives is 5 to 10. So you can see 5 of your major topics carry with them a 5 to 10% exam weighting. We then have a look at the other, we call these the big 5. You've got ethics, financial statement analysis, equities, fixed income, and portman. Okay, and that's just a brief look at your exam weightings. Of course, you can see that the range of marks is quite wide. In other words, you've got ethics could be 10 to 15%, 10% of course on the low end and 15% yes then on the high end. Okay, but they have seemed to have told us that each vignette will relate to one of the topics. So they're not going to give you, for example, one vignette with a bit of economics and fixed income mixed in. We're going to save that that kind of detailed questioning for CFA level 3. That's coming up, of course. Okay, we have a look over here, guys, and just to conclude a little bit on this video, it's a nice short little video just to give you a bit of a sense of what your exam is like, just to give you a sense of what we at Edge Designations can offer you. First and foremost, let me just give you our web address, www.edgedesignations, all one word, .com. Okay, I'm going to start off working a little bit backward over here, and we're going to start off with option number 2 first, which is the revision and exam program, because this is really in truth a revision and exam video, just to let you know a little bit about what's in your exam and what we offer. Number 1 is we've got anywhere between, I think it's around range of between 20 to 24 hours worth of what we call revision video. And what we do in the revision video is we take you through the entire CFA level 2 syllabus from start to finish in a summarized version. Okay. Number 2, aligned to that revision video, guys, sorry, and that obviously is in YouTube format. Aligned to that, we give you notes on the revision video. Okay, so, and as we talk through the video, we have the notes available for you as well, and those notes are then in PDF format. We've got a revision sheet for you, a revision, sorry, not revision, my apologies, a formula sheet, okay, available for you as well, okay, for the CFA level 2, all the major formulas. And then we've got 6 practice exams for you, okay, which mimic the actual exam. Hopefully in terms of difficulty, most of our candidates at Edge say that yes, it was fairly representative of what you can get in the final exam. Okay, remember, of course, your final exam is not going to be easy, but we don't expect it to be. And yeah, so we try and mimic that as much, of course, as we can. That's what we call our revision and exam program. So if you go onto our website, that'll be option number 2. If you're a little bit earlier on in the game, and some people still prefer to go through this approach, we go for option number 1. Option number 1 is a fully online program. And in the fully online program, what we offer, guys, is a complete set of videos, okay, on the entire syllabus, again in YouTube format, but that's about 80 hours. So you can see the difference between the full program and the revision program over there. Okay, of course, there's a comprehensive set of notes on the entire syllabus, and of course CFA is quite strict with us that we cover every single learning outcome statement, so we do that as well. We've got a Q bank in there as well, about 2,500 to 3,000 questions in there, and then of course we've got our formula sheet there as well. But again, that is what we call the online program, and that would probably be better suited to if you are starting the program, or if you're perhaps not writing as soon as you've got a couple of months and you'd like to go through some detailed notes and videos, etc. Okay, just in terms of our revision video, okay, which we've got over here, as I said earlier, we take you through the entire syllabus. Keep in mind, of course, guys, that there have been very little change between 2022 and 2023. So what we like to do is we of course, we don't re-record videos if there's been no change in syllabus. So what you might find, you say, hold on a second, that video looks like it's a 2022 video. Yes, that would be correct, because of course it doesn't make any sense to re-record stuff if it is exactly carbon copy of what it was then, other than of course maybe just a change in the chapter's number from 22 to 23. So just watch out for that as well. The notes are there as well, formula sheet, and of course you've got your 6 times practice papers. That is a little bit of, hopefully this video gives you a bit of an indication of what you can expect in the CFA exam, what Edge can do for you as a prep provider. And lastly, just to conclude, we're going to wish everybody the most amount of success in their exams. Remember, guys, CFA level 2, you've got many options to write in 2023. You've got the May option, the August option, as well as the November option. We wish you the most amount of success no matter which option you have selected. Best of, I don't like to say luck, because luck is if you haven't studied, but I'm sure everybody going to the exam has studied adequately. So best of success, and hopefully we will see everybody then in CFA Level 3.